Welcome to the Master Dealmaker's Secrets podcast. And now, here's sales growth strategist, John Blake.
Welcome to Master Dealmaker Secrets. I'm John Blake. This is episode 124, and today I am going to be sharing with you the 7 leverage points that I look at when I am working with a business to improve their sales process. So, lots of different places that you can look to improve your conversions, to improve the offer that you create, and to move people through your process a lot faster. So I'm sure that will be super valuable. Before we do that, if you have got leads in your pipeline and you want to convert more of those leads into paying clients, head over to johnblakeaudio.com and grab your audio training where I show you the exact strategy that you can use with your existing leads that haven't converted into paying clients yet, and how to convert them into paying clients. This will work consistently. It's what I start all of my brand new clients off on, and it's designed to give you a big improvement in your conversion rates and give you a cash injection into your business. So head over to johnblakeaudio.com and grab that. You'll also get a PDF companion guide which has the exact word-for-word email templates, the follow-up templates, the phone scripts, exactly when to email and when to call over a 90-day period. Go and grab it now at johnblakeaudio.com, and I look forward to hearing your success story. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is when I first sit down with a new client. This is essentially the checklist that I go through with them, and it's how I work out what we are going to work on to give them the fastest shift in their sales results. So the first place I look is, how are they getting leads and how are people finding them? So we'll look at their website, we'll look at their landing pages, we'll look at people, essentially what people know about them before they complete a inquiry form. And so that's essentially what we might call the indoctrination part. What is it that they have learned about your business to position you differently as opposed to your competitors? So that's leverage point number 1. The second point is when the lead actually comes in, what is the method that you are using to engage them? So what I'm finding out a lot, in fact, if you've listened to the last podcast, I think it might have been the one before that, we talked about the fact that people are finding it harder and harder to engage new leads. So just because somebody has completed a web form or completed a contact form doesn't mean that you're going to be able to get them on the phone straight away. And increasingly, more and more people are needing a strategy to build somebody up from a sort of low commitment type lead who's really just given you their first name and their email address, and actually building them up to a point where you can actually get a telephone number from them and you can actually have a telephone conversation. So you've got the lead engagement process. That's leverage point number 2. Leverage point number 3 is you're either qualifying them or disqualifying them. So that is where I work with people on my Strike sales framework, and we often sometimes have like a triage process as well, where you might talk to them briefly before you book the longer qualification call. And essentially the 10-minute triage or the 15-minute triage call is designed to either disqualify somebody or qualify them, so that when you're actually booking a longer call with them, you are going to be talking to somebody who is likely to go ahead with you. So number 3 is that qualify or disqualify piece. And it will also be contextual, because you might have times where you're absolutely buried with new inquiries, where you might want to tighten up your qualification or your disqualification process. And then you might have other times where you don't have a lot of inquiry, so you might want to loosen it off a little bit. So that's leverage point number 3. Leverage point number 4 is how you put your offer together, how you write your plan, or put your quote together, or your proposal, how that's actually put together, how that is is presented in written form. So if you're in a situation where you are actually writing a proposal or you're putting a quote together, how you write that and how you present that is a big part of it. So the first part of it is how that's written, and that's leverage point number 4. The fifth part is how that is presented, right? So leverage point number 5 is how that particular quote or proposal is actually presented, and if it is presented at all. So there are situations out there where people just email quotes or email proposals. So in my process, what we do is we actually have a framework that you use to actually present that plan to someone. So that is leverage point number 5. Leverage point number 6 is follow-up, right? So I actually give you leverage point number 6 at johnblakeaudio.com. So that's where I literally give you my process for improving that particular leverage point, which is the follow-up piece. And essentially you can download everything that I teach there, or at least the lion's share of what I teach before I customize it for people, at johnblakeaudio.com. And the follow-up process needs to be professional, it needs to be proactive, and it needs to be done in a way that does not piss people off. And then the 7th leverage point is your re-engagement piece. So re-engagement really is about retaining, it's about reselling, and it is about upselling an existing client, but it's also about re-engaging somebody who might have said no, who you could go back to later on and get a yes out of. So I hope this has been useful. I'm in future sessions, probably going to drill in future podcasts, probably going to drill down further on at least a couple of these particular leverage points. But have a look at your process and have a look at which leverage point you believe that you need to put the most effort into tweaking to make your conversions better. So thank you, as always, for listening, and I will talk to you on the next podcast. Cheers.
You've been listening to Master Dealmaker's Secrets with John Blake. Subscribe to get more in-depth strategies to maximize your sales process with new episodes every week. And double your inquiry to sale conversion with the lead flow you already have. Go to johnblakeaudio.com for his exclusive free no-fluff audio training and companion PDF guide.